Good morning.
Please excuse the slow walking, but I just made some decisions to solve a problem in my life, and that's the problem of expanding the wrong direction. So I'm a little sore, but that's a good thing. I still have feelings, so I'm good. Now, normally, when I introduce myself here, I introduce myself as a consultant with LibertyMutual. But just like everyone else in this room, there's so many layers to what we all do and our gifts and talents as well. And one of the most important part of whatever I do is the consulting part. When the consultant, we go in, we dig out, we get an understanding of who you are, what you want, and how I can help you. So when I was thinking about what to speak on today, I was just like, do we want to do insurance? And I actually prayed about it, and this is what I was given, so here we go. So one of the times, I had gone to a sales seminar, and if anybody's gone to a sales seminar, you realize that you basically get the same principles over and over again. It's just kind of presented in a totally different format. The presenter adds a little bit of their twist to it, and you're able to glean some nuggets from it. Well, the seminar that I attended was on value-based selling. So if anybody ever knows about value-based selling, it's about asking questions to understand the why behind the why, get to the root cause of the matter. And in this particular seminar, while the principles were pretty much the same, there was a story that was told that really transformed, or it actually transcended the event that I was attending. I left the room, okay? I went out the door and down the hall and started thinking about my personal business, my professional business, my spiritual life, because the story kind of shined a light on some things for me. So I'm going to share the story with you and see if it ignites your own journey, okay? This story takes place in Washington, D.C., the Jefferson Memorial. The Jefferson Memorial was actually eroding, okay? And it got to the point where it was a health hazard or a physical hazard for tourists that came, because some of the pieces on the inside would fall and hit the ground. Well, because it was a health hazard, there was a need for immediate attention. So the Parks and Recreation team came together to take a look at the memorial to see what is going on. And in their pursuit of seeing what's going on, the first thing they noticed was, you know, the Memorial Park in D.C., how many's been there? I love it. Isn't it awesome? There's an airport very close. So they came to the conclusion that every time the airplanes go over, they're leaving pollutants that is causing the memorial to erode, which is a very good theory. But it doesn't answer the question to why it was eroding on the inside as well. And again, when you stop and think about it, what is a good problem, a good hypothesis? Some people propose maybe we should cover it. Well, covering it costs a lot of money. But someone dared to say, why? They asked the question, why? Why is it eroding on the inside and the outside, and the other memorials aren't doing that? What's going on? What's the difference? So that was a good question. So they came together, they thought about it, they went on the inside and they asked the workers that work inside the Jefferson Memorial. And they said, no, we keep this place spotless. We clean it twice a week. Oh, you clean it twice a week, it's eroding. So maybe it's the chemicals that you're using, right? So we go in, we look, they look at the soap, they look at the materials, and there was a connection. Because the materials in the soap was also having a reaction with the pollutants and causing erosion. So you can automatically say, well, the fix to this problem is what? Change the soap. But somebody stopped and asked the question. They asked why. Why are you cleaning the memorial twice a week? The other memorials don't need to be cleaned as much. The groundskeeper said, I can answer that question real easily for you. There's pigeon poop everywhere. So the pigeons are pooping, and people are coming to visit, and it's an eyesore, okay? It's kind of gross. So that's why they clean it twice a week. So you can say, well, a good solution to that problem would be get you a couple of 6th or 7th, 8th grade boys, arm them with some slingshots and let them loose on the pigeons, right? Get rid of them. But it's an okay solution, but somebody asked the question, why? Why are the pigeons coming? The pigeons were coming, they got together, did a little bit more research, and determined that there was an influx of spiders in the area. The pigeons were coming to eat, and they had a lot of spiders there. So we can call the orchid man, right? Get rid of all the spiders, and get rid of all the pigeons, and get rid of all the poop, and we don't have to wash it as much. And that would cut down on the erosion. But y'all, do y'all know what somebody did? Someone came and asked a question, and they asked, why? Why are the spiders there? So the spiders were there because there was an influx of insects. So spiders like insects, right? So what they noticed that there was a marsh right beside the Jefferson Memorial. And because of the marsh, they had a particular type of insect that had very short lifespan. They would come to the ground level and they would feed, they would reproduce, they would do their business. While they were there, the spiders would pounce on them. So a good solution would be drain the marsh, you know? But somebody asked the question, why? Why? And what they determined was that the insects were attracted to the memorial because of the floodlights and the time the floodlights were on. And it really kind of illuminated something for me. Because a situation that was really big and massive, as an entire building beginning to erode, when you got down to the bottom, to the core issue, it was the floodlights. So just simply changing the timer on the floodlights could save the building and keep it from eroding. And so I began to think about that in my own personal, professional, spiritual life. Like, how many times have I been presented with an issue and I just took the surface, I took the first thing that came to mind, just like they did with the Washington Memorial. And I ran out and I bought the materials to get started, to cover the memorial, or to cover the dream, or to cover whatever it was that I didn't want to lose. And I would have wasted time, I would have wasted resources, I would have lost opportunity. But by them asking a simple question, why, and not being afraid to challenge the status quo, they were able to come to a very simple solution that did not have casualty. And so many times as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we have a lot of casualty, our relationships, friendships, time, resources that are used and spent because we're solving the wrong problem. We could have solved the pigeon problem, they could have solved the spider problem, they could have solved the insect problem, but that would have been starting midstream. But by starting at the core of the issue, which is the floodlight, flipping a switch, they were able to solve all the problems and reserve resources and have less casualty. So that made me start to think about me. What is it that I'm not living, where am I not living at or above my potential? Why am I not living it? Am I trying to run and put fires out all over the place? Or have I invested the time to stop and ask why? So the principle in value-based selling is to ask why at least 5 times. When you're consulting with a customer, and they give you an objection, or they give you a stall, or they give you a concern, ask why at least 5 times to drill down to the core issue. And I thought, why don't I apply that to my own life? Why don't I be bold enough and courageous enough to ask myself why 5 times? If you know that you're supposed to be doing something greater, and you know that your business has the potential to go even further, why isn't it? So that's my challenge, to see if you all would like to take that journey with me. My name is Deontay Roaf, life coach, leadership certified, as well as LibertyMutual sales consultant. Thanks.